Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Connie. Today, my guest star is the one, the only, the awesome Julia with Doodleys. Uh oh. what's your channel name called again, Julia?
Is Crochet, aka Julia.
Yeah, that's it. It's like I know enough words of your channel name to look it up because I knew like
See, I wouldn't
Julia.
put the
Um,
Julia on the end if people probably wouldn't recognize me from before, so I just put Julia on the end of it so they know who it was.
yeah, because it's like I know Doodleys in it, Crochet, and Julia. But I know enough to look it up. But I'm always bad about remembering names like channel names exactly. I know enough to look them up. Or sometimes there are a few times I have to go and look at my subscriptions and because I know like the first word of it where I know where to find it. But for some reason that's something I have issues with sometimes remembering exactly.
I
Let's
just
see.
usually remember the person's name rather than their channel.
Mhm. Let's see, we have Brenda, Anita, and Charity that have joined us. How are y'all ladies doing? What have y'all been up to? What are y'all working on? Um, so, like I said, this is Julia, and today the main topic is going to be ponchos. And who loves them some ponchos? I know I love ponchos. But the funny thing is I've only made one poncho. Um I haven't done a lot with ponchos, but I love them. But yeah, Anita saying she's working on dishes.
Oh,
And you know,
Lord.
those dishes will always be there for you. Dishes will be there for you.
And laundry.
Hi Cheryl, how are you today? And what are you working on? Um, but yeah, like I said, today we're going to be talking about ponchos. And I do want to welcome those that will be watching on replay. And if you do watch the replay, leave a comment, let me know, and feel free to answer any questions we ask on today's live too. Let's see. Brenda's doing well, still working on the Harlequin throw blanket, finally at the halfway point. Yeah, that's a beautiful blanket. And I love the colors Brenda's using on her blanket. We also have Angela. How are you and what are you working on? Oh, actually, she's telling me she's still working on her scrappy blanket. Brenda loves her some ponchos. Um, oh, I want to show y'all something real quick that oh I'm struggling today. I'm sorry, y'all. um, yesterday I had a really bad headache, and even though like it's not bugging me really today, but I still kind of feel the after effects from it. So I feel like my concentration is kind of off. Let's see, we have Jamie and Shatika here. How are y'all? What are y'all working on? But anyway, yesterday Deanna M contacted me and she wanted to know like some patterns type thing that I wanted. And she gifted me two beautiful knit lace patterns for my birthday. And wait, these are gorgeous. And I'm like, I was just like, oh, wow. I was like all happy when she told me that. It was a very pleasant surprise. And if you watch this live, Deanna, again, thank you so much. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's called I Shall Wear Purple by Rosemary Rami or Romy Hill. Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, that's pretty.
I love how this one looks. And at first I thought like it was just short instructions, but for what I looked at the pattern, I think it does actually have the written instructions. Um, which if not, then I'll have to learn how to do the charts, which the charts really shouldn't be difficult. It's just symbols for what you're supposed to do. But I don't know. I prefer written instructions. Okay, so the second one is, let's see. This one's called Miss Dashwood Shawl by Paulina Popiolik. I don't know how to say that last name. And this one is kind of has a similar look to it, but isn't that gorgeous?
I like the detail there at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And I like how the top part, it has a, like more of a texture to it. It's not just like stockinette stitch or garter stitch. But
I ain't that far along in my knitting yet.
But I think it's gorgeous. I can't wait to work on these. All right. Let's see what everyone is saying. Cheryl says, still working on the trellis throw and alternating with weaving ends on another Afghan. Sweet. I can't wait to see that when you finish. Jamie's knitting a vest and enjoying coffee. So who's had their coffee already today? Have you had your coffee, Julia?
I don't drink coffee. I drink Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper then.
Yeah, I've had Dr. Pepper all day.
Let's see. Oh, everyone says those patterns are beautiful. Yeah, that was just so sweet of Deanna to do that. But yeah. So I'm gonna let Julia tell y'all a little more about herself for those that don't know Julia. What would you like to tell everyone about yourself, Julia?
Let's see. I have a son, and then I have a stepson. I have a dog named Snoopy. I love to crochet anything that I can find. I crochet it. And my fiance, he's my biggest fan. He'll tell everybody at work, and they order stuff.
Awesome. So tell us some more about Snoopy.
He's a black and tan beagle, full-blooded.
Aww.
I think he's supposed to be 13-inch, the 13-inch ones. But he's got separation anxiety. Like if I get up and leave this room, he'll start barking. Or if I don't have the TV on, which he probably will start barking pretty soon because I got it on mute. And he loves to eat my yarn, so I can't let him sit with me and crochet because he wants to eat it. I'm trying to train him, but he don't listen too good.
Yeah, it's so cute and funny, like pets, the quirks that pets have. You never know what they'll get into or what they'll do. Since you mentioned the TV, I do want to ask, can y'all hear the TV running in the background? Frank is watching something, and I want to make sure that, it's not like coming through my microphone. He has it on low. Let's see. Oh, Brenda had her 2 cups of coffee this morning. Awesome. Oh, Anita is mentioning how you're a Stephen King fan.
Oh, yeah. I got every one of his books he's ever wrote.
Yeah, my brother was really into Stephen King. He had like
I
all their
got,
books.
I got almost all the movies.
Yeah, I've never read his books, but I've watched like especially more his earlier movies like Cujo,
Well,
um,
the book is
Firestarter.
totally different.
Yeah, they always do that, and everyone says the books are better.
Well, I don't
Um,
like the book at the end because the boy dies, but on the movie he lives. And that broke my heart.
and then Pet Cemetery is another one.
Yep.
Oh, but but yeah, I always liked watching his movies. Oh, Anita wants to know how you like the Dark Tower series.
I really like that series. I couldn't put it down. I got the whole set. My son bought it for me from Books and Noble, and I couldn't put it down. I done read it twice.
Awesome. Let's see. Cheryl saying she had a miniature beagle as a kid. Yeah, me, I have my two meow meows. Cheryl saying King's books are way better than movie. He can make characters like nobody else. Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
heard the books are better, but really, typically, that's the case with a lot of like movies that are written based on books. The books basically always are better, but for some reason, I'm more of a movie watcher. I mean, I will read books sometimes. I did more when I was younger, but a lot of times I like putting on a movie, especially since I can crochet and knit that way. Um, Anita says, "Yep, it's addictive." So what state do you live in, Julia?
I live in North Carolina.
And what type of things go on in your area, or what your area is known for?
I don't really know. I know we have a lot of festivals and stuff like that, like the
Yeah,
Molasses Festival.
like here in Louisiana, we're known for our food, Mardi Gras, stuff like that. Uh-oh. Anita's dirtying more dishes. See, I
Oh,
told you
Lord.
that dishes do not go away. They just come back after you clean them. Like, here we are again. You need to clean me. So, what are some of your hobbies, Julia?
I play guitar and I sing. I do cross stitch, diamond painting. I read. I sew. Oh no, I just like all the crafts.
Yeah, like me, I tend to, of course, crochet, knitting. Now I also like cross stitching and diamond painting, but I haven't done it in a while. I really do need to start working on it a little again because I've recently gotten some beautiful kits that I want to do. So I'm probably gonna start working on like one of those crafts like once a week. Um, so that way I can start working on some of those. Oh, and Anita's saying you should do a video playing the guitar.
Oh Lord. My dog would bark then.
But yeah, like of course those things I like watching like movies, especially Lifetime type movies. I love true crime. Are you a true crime junkie?
Yes, that's what I had on before we went live. It's true crime. And I like a lot of scary movies.
Yeah, like I love Kendall Ray. She's like my favorite true crime channel. And
Watch Homicide Hunter, Joe Kenda.
Anita says, that's okay. We love doggies. Ruff, ruff. But, oh, yeah. Another thing is, music. I love music. And so, what type of music do you like, Julia?
I like the old country music, like Maybelle Carter, Porter Wagner, Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline. I can play a couple of her songs and sing them.
Yeah,
I used to take lessons every week from my cousin's husband. He had a chance to play with Reba McEntire, but his wife wouldn't let him because she was jealous. But it's a good thing. That's when her band got killed in the plane.
Oh,
yeah. So it was a good thing.
I love Reba, and I always said that if Reba McEntire ever did a concert like in the area I was in, that I would go to it. And don't you know, the one time she did, I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, I wanted to see Loretta Lynn, but I didn't get to.
But for me, I tend to like most things 80s. I love 80s music. Of course there was, the time that I was more into like pop music or kind of more the soft rock.
I wasn't allowed to listen to that growing up, so I don't know very much about it.
And then in the 90s, I went through more of a country phase, like Garth Brooks, Reba McEntire. And now it's just kind of every now and then a song kind of. But I tend to more listen to like older music and don't really keep up with the newer stuff no more.
The country today, I don't think is country anymore.
Really, it's not. Even, whenever I listen to it, oops, we lost Julia. Oh, there she is. Oops. Okay, there you are. But really country, it isn't like what it used to be. Because even whenever I was listening to country, it was more like a pop country than, like true country.
Well, see, I grew up, my daddy, he loves the old country. Like Porter Wagner, Dolly Parton, Maybelle Carter, the Carter family, Johnny Cash, George Jones. That's what I grew up on.
Sweet. Let's see. Anita likes Hank Sr. Cheryl saying she met Roy Clark backstage once when her grandpa played drums for him. And we also have Jessie in the house. Howdy, howdy, Jessie. How are you today and what are you working on? Oh, Anita wants to know if you've been to Butcher Holler.
Nope. I ain't got to go yet.
So
that's where the land's from.
You want to tell everyone a little bit about your channel?
Yeah, mostly I do like what I'm working on. Like Mondays I do Catch Up Monday. Tuesdays I do shout outs. Wednesdays I show my whips that I'm working on. And Thursday I'm going to collab with Darla and a few other people. Awesome. It's in the bag with Darla. So Things We're Making Thursday is the name of that. We take a pattern, a free pattern, and we work on it and show our progress every Thursday. And then Fridays I do show and tell. And I will have yarn reviews and crochet reviews when I get something new in.
Yeah, so if y'all haven't checked out Julia's channel, go check her out. Her link is in the description box of today's live. And if one of my moderators could drop her channel link That would be amazing. Let's see. Brenda saying, I grew up with country music, old school rock in 80s. And Anita saying that she's been to how you say it
Butcher
again?
holler. Butcher holler.
Okay, I was saying it right. I thought I was saying it a little wrong. Oh, but Anita says her mom and sister have been there. Yeah. Um. Now, one thing I do want to bring up is probably starting next month in March. I'm probably going to be making a few changes to my channel because I feel like lately I've been really struggling to keep up on things on my channel. And there are other things that I also want to have more time to do on my channel. So, starting in March, I'm probably going to cut my lives back to going live twice a week instead of 3 times a week, where I'm planning to do, still do Coffee with Connie, and the format will still be the same. And then on Saturdays, I will do my lives like how I do on Mondays, where it's more of an informational, educational live, and it would just be me on the panel. Like how I've been doing like yarn fibers and stuff. I feel like that I feel like when I'm by myself I can go deeper into a topic. And like some topics I don't always feel like they work as good with a guest store where, and I have more freedom because when I pick topics like with a guest store, I try to find something I feel like is more suited, for my guests, like something they're more knowledgeable about. Or like today, like the topic's ponchos, is ponchos. That's one of Julia's favorite things to make. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing starting in March. And I may be doing a collab live with someone else once a month. Um, we're still talking about it, trying to figure things out. And then when it comes to like my Crochet Tuesday and Knitting Friday videos, I'm probably going to start doing it where like one week I do my crochet video, then the next week would be my knitting video, and then go back to crochet the following week, and then knitting, and do like that where there'd be a crochet video every other week and a knitting video every other week. And I'm hoping it gives me more time too where I can do more with tutorials, crochet alongs, knit alongs, because that's something I really want to do on my channel. But I always say I'm going to do this, and then I struggle with making it happen. So I'm hoping like more time in the day, more time to work on those things. I can start getting that to happen more often. At least that's my plan. um, because I mean, I have all these ideas I want to do. I really do, but sometimes it's just juggling everything, you know.
Yeah, I feel that way now because I got so much going on.
And
And
another
then my back don't want to work cooperate with me. So
and another thing, like I've been struggling a lot with headaches lately, and a lot of times when I have a headache, I don't feel up to filming and stuff, and then I feel bad because I'm like I'm not getting my content out like as regularly as I'd like to. And I probably won't really call my crochet video Crochet Tuesday and my knitting one's Knitting Friday anymore, because I feel like that makes it sound like that video needs to be up on that day, where I kind of want the freedom where it's going to be like during the week, you know.
yeah,
But that is something I am planning to do, you know. That way, like I said, I'm hoping I have more time for some other stuff to do on my channel that I know a lot of y'all want to see, because I know everyone, tends to like tutorials, crochet and knit alongs. Let's see. We have Kathy that joined us. Hi, Kathy. How are you today? And what are you working on? But yeah, that's something that's going to be changing up a little bit. But I think overall, it will be for the best, because you know there'll be more options for content, more. And I've been saying that I'm going to do more tutorials and stuff like that. And I always feel like I let everyone down, that I'm not getting those things out like I really want to. But that's what I'm considering, and more than likely going to do starting in March. Oh, one other thing too. My birthday is coming up on February 27th, and I am going to be doing a birthday bash giveaway on my birthday. Now, it's going to be a little different than like last year, or like what you typically see with like the birthday bash type giveaways. Normally you see them in lives, but I've more and more I feel like it excludes people from being able to enter the giveaways like that. So I'm going to do it in video format, where it's going to be like that same concept, where I'm going to be, telling everyone what the gifts, what the prizes are, and have a keyword, and you would put that in the comments, those keywords. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm going to pick all the winners. So that's how I'm planning to do that this year. So I hope y'all um participate in the giveaway when I put the video out. I'll probably have it out like probably around 8 o'clock on my birthday. Um because I plan to pre-record it and schedule it. But anyway, that's coming up. And then also on February 27th, I will be doing a live, but it's not going to be a giveaway live. And I'm going to be doing this live um in the evening. And I'm pretty sure I know the time, but I'm still kind of like, trying to schedule with everybody, because I'm going to have guest stars come up for like 10-minute intervals. So I contacted some Yarny friends, and, like, what the first 10 minutes, there'll be someone with me. The next 10 minutes, there'll be someone else. And hopefully it'll be a fun live, with more chit chat, goof around, be silly, chatty. Let's see. You had something you wanted to say, Julia?
No, I was just listening.
Okay. Let's see. See what everyone's saying. Brenda saying, don't worry about not getting videos out when you're not feeling well. Life happens. Do you and your family first. Thank you. Because a lot of times I do, like, I feel guilty, you know, because like lately I haven't been getting my videos out like I normally intend to do, and I don't like that. But, you know, especially lately we've been getting too much rain, and when it rains it gives me headaches. Let's see,
It's
we have
supposed to be raining here, but it ain't raining yet.
oh, yesterday it was bad yesterday. Um like, we would have spurts where, I mean, that rain was hard coming down. And like last night, it was like my head was hurting so bad. I went lay down early, and I was even worried. Like, I was like, am I going to be up to going live tomorrow? And I felt guilty because Julia was supposed to go live with me last week, and I had a headache and canceled on her. And I was like, I can't cancel on her again.
It'd
So,
have been all right if you didn't feel good. We could have done it some other time.
but I was like, thinking to myself yesterday, well, even if I feel bad, I'll go ahead and try to do the live. Um, but it's hard to focus and concentrate with a headache.
Yep.
But let's see. I think I said hello to Lynette. If not, howdy, howdy. How are you? And what are you working on? Oh, Brenda says her birthday is February 15th. Happy early birthday. And we have Maritza here. And Wicked Granny. How are y'all and what are y'all working on? She'll say you should not feel guilty. Lots of us yawning people have some physical thing we work around.
Yep.
But it's just like I feel like I'm being flaky, and I hate that, because it's like I really want things to be consistent, but lately I feel like it hasn't been. All right, let's see. Moving on. Let's see. All right. Do you have any whips or finished projects you want to share with everybody, Julia?
I have all my ponchos, and I've got a blanket that I was working on before. I've already showed it on my video. I haven't got too much done since yesterday, though.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I got commissioned to make 2 blankets, plus do test Crystal's goat pattern, and then
You know what? You know what I think's funny? It seems like a lot of the people that I've talked to lately, when I ask them what they're working on, the 2 things I hear the most is Crystal's goat pattern and also the Sophie Universe blanket.
yeah, that's a pretty blanket. I've seen it, but I don't know if I could do it or not.
It's like I think it's beautiful and I would love to make it, but it's like I haven't been in the mood to make a blanket since like I was working on my peppermint blanket that I was working on, like not this past year, but I think the year before.
Yeah,
I get burnt out on blankets. Let's
and
see,
I'm getting that way now. And I still got one more to make after this one.
we also have Bridget and Linda here. How are y'all? And what are y'all working on? Let's. Anita saying I usually cook for her family on her birthday. Aw, you know what Frank loves on his birthday? Cake. He's a cake man. But anyway, so do you have any ponchos that you want to show everybody that you've made?
Yeah, I got some. My fiance's mama passed away, and I made her a whole bunch, and they didn't want them to get gone, so they just gave them back to me. So I thought I'd show them. You've probably already seen this one,
Yeah, that one's
but
beautiful.
that's
Beautiful. I
out
love
of the
the
silk.
shine.
That was one of Crystal's at Bag O' Day's patterns. And then here's another one out of silk. It wraps around you, and then you tie it right here. But that comes from Jada and Stitches.
Beautiful.
And I made this one's the one I made for myself. It's all the dark peach silk
Pretty,
yarn.
pretty.
And I like the color purple. So this one's mine also. And it's from Crystal.
Love it. And I love purple.
That's my favorite color, purple.
Yeah, like my favorite colors, I always say blue is my favorite, but pink has either overtaken blue or it's a very close favorite. But I think I always say blue out of habit because that was my childhood favorite color. But I kind of think pink took over. and th-
Mine's
and
always
then
been purple.
and then purple would be like my next after that. Like those are
My
like my
mom
main three.
is navy blue. That's her favorite color.
Let's see. We have Angel Renee here, and also let's Melody, and there was someone else that joined us. I think Dorla. Yeah. How are all of y'all ladies doing? And what are y'all working on? Bridget's making a granny and virus blanket for a friend. Ooh, nice. I always love that combination with the virus and granny. One of the one of these days, I'm gonna make the shawl.
I want to try that pattern. I ain't never tried it.
And let's see. Let's see. Oh, Melody's working on a granny square blanket, and she also says your blankets are beautiful. I guess she means the ponchos. But yeah, she's saying they're beautiful, and so is Wicked Granny. Darla says her favorite color is purple. Brenda says hers are purples and turquoise. Nice, 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 nice. Now for me, when it comes to ponchos, I've actually only made one poncho. Even though I love ponchos and I always say I'm gonna make, ponchos, but somehow it stays on my to-do list. And I haven't done much with ponchos. But let me see if I can find the picture of the one I made. I meant to have it pulled up before the live and I forgot. So hopefully I can quickly find it. Let's see. Where are you, Poncho? Oh, here it is. Oh, I did find it easy. Awesome. And y'all gonna get to get a taste of the biscuit. Let's see. That was the one I made. It was one of Bag O' Days, the hooded one. And I used the Red Heart Ombre yarn. I think it's called Green Apple. But yeah, that's the one I made.
I ain't made a poncho in a long time. Because his mama
Yeah.
used to love ponchos. And we lost her a year ago. And I ain't made one since.
Oh, I'm sorry you lost her.
Yeah, she just gave me a blanket that I made her was a lapgan. She found it and she gave it back to me. It was
Oh,
just to go across your legs.
pretty blankie.
But I like to sit here and hug it because it's got her smell on it.
That kind of reminds me of little. There was a scene on Grey's Anatomy where Meredith was looking all over for this blanket because the fond memories of the blanket with Derek, who had he ended up passing away. So that kind of like reminds me of that kind of sentimental thing, which I think is so sweet. Let's see. Dorla saying, I'm working on my hoot owl basket for the things we're making Thursday collab. Nice.
I just put my video up for that. I just
And
gotta make
Melanie's,
eyeballs.
oh, sorry.
I just gotta make the eyeballs and the nose next week and put it together.
Nice. Melanie saying, I want to do a poncho, but I can't get them to turn out and end up frogging them. Uh, um, I said, Bago Day has a lot of good poncho patterns.
Yeah, that's where
Um,
mine come from. She's easy to follow.
and I did find like it takes a little while to kind of get down, that how it kind of works. But once you get it, then it's easy. But I will be sharing a good bit of poncho patterns after a little while on today's live. Angel Renee says, I like ponchos, but too hot here for many. Yeah, that's one bad thing. Like my area, we get a lot. Our weather tends to be hot. Um, let's see. Thank you, Wicked Granny. Brenda says I've made several of Crystal's Bago Day ponchos. Frank is beautiful. Frank, you were beautiful in every single way. Let's see. Cheryl says I've not done a poncho, but wasn't to do Bod's Carol. Oh, I guess want to do Bod's Carolina poncho. Melody says I love ponchos. They remind me of my granny. She used to make them for me when I was little. Yeah. Okay. Cheryl corrected herself. She wants to. Okay. That's what I finally figured it out. uh, let's see. Dorla says I need to run to start my day. Okay. I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, Darla.
But yeah. Now, Julia, when it comes to the ponchos you've made, which one is your favorite? I'm thinking you're going to say the purple one.
I'm gonna surprise you. It's gonna be this one from
Nope.
Jade, but it's got purple in it.
Yeah, that was my second guess. Would be one of your silk ones.
Yeah, it wraps around and I can keep it up because it ties. So that's my favorite one.
And which one would you say has been your most challenging to make?
I guess this peach one right here is from Bago Day. The reason why it was challenging is because it was the silk and it was starting to fray a little bit, but I had to change my hook and then it quit doing it. I had to frog it 2 or 3 times.
And do you have another poncho pattern in mind that you want to make soon?
I don't know. I've been looking at one on Bago Days, but I don't know if I'll make any ponchos here for a little bit.
Yeah, because I
I
figure
don't have nobody to wear them now, so my
more
mama
than
don't.
likely the next one I would make would be one of Bago Days.
Yeah, my mama don't like ponchos or shawls, so I made her, or she took my sweater and I had to crochet me another one from Crystal at Bago Day. Her crocheted sweater. Mama took
Yeah,
my purple one, so I had to make me another one.
Bago Days patterns are awesome. But now do you find if is there kind of like a certain style of poncho you like the best?
Not really. I just like doing them.
Yeah, which whenever I share some of the patterns, y'all will hear the ones that I think are really beautiful. I mean, I like all the patterns I picked, but some you were just like, oh wow, let's see. We have Chris in the house. How are you, Chris? And what are you working? Well, do you actually do any crocheting or knitting, Chris? Because I think you mostly just support us crocheters and knitters. Um, but yeah, I always have that habit to ask what you're making, and like I have a few people that show up at my lives, like Tyler's one, and it's like I always go to ask him that, and it's like, oh yeah, he likes to fish, not crochet and knit. Um, Anita says I want to design a man's poncho when I get the time, Clint Eastwood style. Ooh, nice. Um, Speaking of designing patterns, this is something that I want to work on very soon because it's been a while since I've designed a pattern. So after I finish the olive branch shawl, I'm going to work on a crochet design, and I want to do a sun hat. And I have a couple of stitches in mind that I want to use, and hopefully I can get something going. So hopefully I'll have a new crochet design soon. And then I want to start working on a knit design for whenever I do my knit along, on how to do a color work beanie. But I think how I'm gonna do this one, I think I'm gonna like basically film as I make it and get all the filming done and wait until that's all done before I start releasing the videos, because like I'm behind on the stripe beanie one because I still really need to do that final video for it showing how to do the magic loop method and how to weave in the ends. So I need to get that finished up and then share everyone's pictures of the beanie they made for that. But like I said, I do want to work on getting that knit along going for the color work one. So it is coming. I just don't know when. Like I said, I feel like I'm behind on so much lately, and hopefully I can kind of get back in the groove and because kind of like this month I may not really do as many of my regular videos per se because I'm kind of hoping to kind of regroup myself and get caught up on some things that I really need to get caught up on. Um, but yeah, but that's the plan. Oh, hi Naomi, how are you today? And what are you working on? Thank you, Naomi. And I did share the link for this pattern and the live that I did to do with Valentine's Day. I shared a bunch of Valentine's Day projects there. Let's see. I thought oh, okay, I did miss something. I knew I had seen another comment that I wanted to read. Chris says, I'll be working on a fair aisle when I learn to knit. Not crocheted anything in a while, but eyeing some vintage projects. Oh, awesome, awesome. All right. So yeah, I covered everything that I wanted to do with that. So now it is pattern time. Who's ready for some patterns? You ready for some patterns, Julia?
Yep. Might
We can
find
see.
one I can do.
Yeah, you might find something that you really want to make. I'm going to start off with the crochet patterns. Um, Today I'm just doing free patterns. So all the patterns today are free patterns, and all the links are in the description box of today's live. Oh, Naomi saying she's making little gift bags for her upcoming kiosk. Oh, nice. Yeah, actually well, I was gonna say let me try to pull it up real quick, but I don't think I'll quickly find the pattern for this one. Um, or another thing too, if you send me an email, Naomi, I can find the pattern link for you and send it via email. I don't think I have your email, so you would have to email me. Okay, so it's pattern time. All right. Here is Morley's Perfect Turtleneck Poncho by Morley Bird. And y'all know I love me some Morley Bird, especially like knit patterns. Um, I learned a lot from Morley Bird when it came to learning how to knit, but this is one of her crochet patterns.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen that one. I wanted to try it, but I never got around to it.
I think this one's pretty. I love that turtleneck look, and I love fringe too. And it kind of has like it looks like cables running through it. But yeah, I love me some Morley Bird. And then this is the Lacy Day Poncho by Joanna Lindahl. And that's part of it. This picture here, you can see it better. But it's all nice and lacy.
Yep, I like that one too.
Yeah, let us know which ones you really like out of the ones I'm sharing, Julia. All right, Next up is, hopefully I can say this at least close to right. Um, a, a Banacos poncho. I don't know if I'm saying that first word properly or not. But it's by Marissa Hernandez. And
Oh
look at
no,
her.
that was gorgeous.
I love that color. And I love like the laciness, the fringes.
It's got nice drape.
Hmm. Let's see. Melody saying, doing good. I got the boot and back. Oh, I take it. YouTube must have like kicked you out or something. I hope not. And let's see. Okay, Naomi saying sounds good. Okay. Y'all seem to be loving the pattern so far. Awesome. All right, next up is Blooming Petals Poncho by Lorene Haythorne, Epple Creation Crochet. And look at that. That's a pretty stitch.
Yep.
And just to warn y'all, like a lot of times you'll probably catch me mispronouncing the names of the designers. Um, be some of these names I'm just like, I don't know.
I have that problem too.
Mhm. It's like I try to say it, pronounce it, but I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. And every now and then you'll see some that I'm like, I'm not even gonna try. I don't even know how to attempt to say it. This is Grayscale Poncho by Jess Copum. And I love how it has the
Like
pockets
the
and
pocket.
I love that.
And it's got the turtleneck too.
Hmm. I think it's pretty. And then next up, let's see. I wish the links would pull up faster. This is Gemstone Lace Poncho by Doriana Ravelli. And look at that.
Oh man.
Very pretty. I love these colors too.
Yep. Reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream.
And I have this shawl that the yarn I use really does look like, you know, the Napolitan ice cream. Um, there it is in purple.
Whoa. I like that one.
Um, Anita, I'm not sure the name of this beanie. Like I said, I would have to like look it up. I have it saved, you know, in the Ravelry, but I also have like a lot of patterns saved in Ravelry, so it would take me a little while to find it. It'd probably actually be easier for me to look through the links from my live that I did I think last Monday with the Valentines. Um but yeah, I know it's like I wish like I could always like easily be like, okay, here's a link. All right, let's see. Next up is Boho Poncho by Lion Brand Yarn. And look how pretty. Then
I
next,
think I've seen that somewhere. I was gonna make it.
next up, this is a customizable poncho by Patty. And another thing I tend to like when they have like the buttons on like the ponchos.
Yeah.
And I kind of like how when they it drapes like where one side it goes down longer. All right. This one's pretty that I'm about to bring up. This is Kismet Poncho by Regina Weiss. I think that one's gorgeous. I love,
Oh my goodness.
the squares, the fringe. And this is what I mean, the color combinations you could do. I mean, I love this one.
That one's gorgeous.
Here's another picture. But I do have a funny story to tell when it came to like picking the patterns for today's live. Well, at first I had picked one that I didn't pay close enough attention to. It looked like it was more like a granny square type one. And whenever I was going to put the links in the description box, I realized it like the shawl was actually had something on it that really wasn't appropriate to be sharing on YouTube.
Oh my lord.
um like I'll give you a hint if you catch my drift. Like the first word of the pattern was Mary. And the second word is also a name. I'm like, I did not notice it was that, you know. And like I said, I'm glad I noticed it because I could have just seen if I accidentally would have shared that pattern.
Yep.
Because I'm like, oh, I might have gotten in trouble if I would have shared that.
Yeah, they
but
probably gave you a ding.
but I did. I just saw granny squares, on it. I didn't look like that real close. I was like, oh, these granny squares are pretty. Let's see. This is Verancho by Renee Schatzsnyder. And look at how pretty. And I love like the Vara stitch. You
I ain't
love the
never
Vara?
tried the virus stitch.
Oh, you gotta try it, Julia. I mean, like if you look at it, it looks complicated, but it really isn't. Like I always say, especially with crochet, if you know how to chain, you know how to do the single crochet, double crochet, even like half double crochet, and for the most part, I will say triple crochet, but I
Yep.
don't I don't find triple crochet is called for as much. You know, I mean, I do see it in patterns I do every now and then, like the Killer Queen shawl by Bago Day. But overall, you know, I haven't done a lot of patterns with triple
I think
crochet.
I've done one. It was the Granny Square Heart by Jada.
Hmm.
She used the triple.
Yeah, like sometimes at amigurumis, I'll see some that call for some triples, but it's not like there's a lot of patterns that don't call for it.
Yep.
Um, but but yeah, if you can do your basic stitches, you can make pretty much anything. You know, so I always encourage people try patterns. Don't let them intimidate you. Um,
Oh, I'll try anything.
I love this color combo. That's pretty, pretty, pretty.
That reminds me of the beach.
Yeah. Let's see. We have some new people that joined in. We have Michelle Crochets in Kansas. Um, Angeles. Let's see. Tyler. And you know what, Tyler? We were just speaking about you a little while ago. Oh, I was talking about how I have the habit of always saying, "What are you working on?" And how some of y'all aren't crocheters or knitters, and with you, you're into fishing. And I was mentioning how you were one that's not a that don't do the yarn crafts unless you do, and I don't realize it.
I like to fish too. I forgot about that.
Let's see. Cheryl saying boho is great. Yeah, I tend to like the boho style. Um, Now that one pattern, I haven't really looked at like the actual pattern, but it does for the most part look you know, like what you're saying, a big granny squares connected. But I love the look of that one. Let's see. Brenda saying, I want to make a poncho with a collar and sleeves. And I don't know if I really have.
Baggoday's got one, don't she?
What was that?
I think Baggoday put one up, sort of long sleeved.
She probably has. She has a lot of poncho patterns. Um, I don't know if I have any patterns that I'm sharing today that have the sleeves as much. Um, but like I said, I would probably like what Julia said. I'd probably check Bag Day. She does quite a bit of
It was a couple of
poncho.
weeks ago. It's real long and it's got the sleeves on it. It's real pretty.
Awesome. Oh, Michelle's 20 away from her next milestone, and she plans to do a giveaway when she reaches it. So yeah, if y'all haven't checked out Michelle, go check her out. I don't know if you've done this or not, but if you type the word drop in the chat, Nightbot will automatically drop your link, Michelle. And that goes for anybody that has channels. If y'all want your links dropped, type the word drop, like drop it like it's hot. Let's see. Yeah, the virus stitch is so pretty, Naomi. Brenda's made the Lost in Time poncho. That's a nice one. Oh, we also have Margaret in the house. Hi, Margaret. How are you today? And what are you working on? Let's see. Cheryl's bringing up Carolina Poncho by Bod. That one has sleeves.
That might be the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, she does so many different things. I also tend to love like the hooded ponchos.
Yep.
Let's see. Next up, speaking of collars, this is a winter poncho by Jeannie Steinhilber. And I really like this one. I love
Yep.
the colors. See, if y'all ever kind of notice, I always tend to kind of like patterns that has like a touch that's a little, kind of to I, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but like certain touches I find makes a pattern stand out. Like I said, kind of like how it has like the turtleneck
Yep.
or or like the hoods, things like that.
Yeah, it makes it unique from what
Mhm.
everybody else does.
All right. Next up is Round Puzzle Poncho by Chris Moore. And this one is beautiful, nice and lacy.
Yep. I've been wanting to make me one like that for a while.
I mean, there's so many beautiful poncho patterns out there. All right. Next up, this is a virus poncho slash two corner by Jonna Martinez. If y'all can't tell, I really like the virus stitch. And I made Fiber Spiders virus stitch shawl. Then I made Bagel Days, what was it? Front post virus shawl, or it's called something like that. It was the one with
Yeah.
the post stitches, and then I think it's Birds of the Night, or I think that's what she called it, or it might have been Owl of the Night. I think it's Birds though.
I really got to look at Stitch Up and do it.
And like I said, it really isn't hard. Even though like you, because what's funny is when you see like a lot of that beautiful stitching or like lacy type work, you're looking at it like, oh, that looks hard, that looks hard. But it's the same stitches. Oops. All right. So here we have Lori Poncho by Ashley Koninsny, or I don't know. See, hood. You got the hood
Yep.
going. And
And the
fringe.
fringe on the bottom.
I like that pink.
Yep.
And the last one for the crochet patterns is Uptown Poncho by Crochet Dreams. And you see, I love the touch of buttons. And buttons is another thing that I find it gives the patterns like that where it kind of pops more. And then you kind of have like some lacy work. And I like when they drape like this. And there it is in a pretty blue. And a grayish. Pretty, pretty. All right. I'm going to see what everyone in the chat is saying, and then we'll get into the free knit patterns. Let's see, where did I leave off? Okay. I think I found my spot. Wicked Granny says, all those ponchos are pretty. I noted a few I might like to try. Love the boho one. And that's one thing, like, you know, if y'all make patterns that I share, like on my lives, I would love to know, like, when y'all make patterns that I share. And hopefully, like, you know, I share patterns that a lot of y'all are like, I'm gonna make this one day. Margaret's catching up on her temperature blanket. Uh, I still have not caught up on last year's.
I ain't never tried. I ain't never made one.
I've made two. And then there's the one that I'm about 3/4 of the way done from last year. But I got to like around fall, it's just like I I got out of the habit of working on it. Let's see. Chris says I have to cover up the model's face and sometimes the body to make sure I actually like the pattern and not the girl. Oh, Chris.
Oh my God.
Hey, he gave us a good laugh today.
Yeah.
Bridget says I love the virus stitch. I'm doing that now as I listen. Naomi's asking if I've made the virus meets Granny. I haven't, but it is one that I do want to do. It's just when. Because there's so many patterns I want to do. And even Chris is saying I like the virus meets Granny. Fiber Spiders tutorial is nice. Yeah, I think it is the Milda Anita. I'm gonna try to look it up real quick if that was it. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So this is the pattern I'm going to pull up of the hat that I'm wearing that y'all were asking about. This is the pattern right here. But I did it in a pink color instead of red. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and drop the link for it, Anita, that would be awesome. Okay, let's see. Chris says, I love the buttons and the lace look on that uptown poncho. And even Wicked Granny saying, buttons give it a touch of elegance. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do find that. And I guess that's the one, that last one I showed. I think Anita saying she made that one. Yeah, you can send a picture if you want me to show it, Anita. Oh, Wicked Granny, I hope you have a good day. Let's see. Thank you, Charity. All right. So let's pull up the knit patterns. This is Napa Rib Collar Poncho by Heather Lodinsky. And this one looks like it's pretty basic. I mean, the collar area, is a little.
It's a little different.
Yeah. But I love the collar though.
Kristen Amdahl did one about like that on her channel.
But I love this color. I think that's beautiful. But yeah, touch of buttons. And the funny thing is, I really do want to do a knitted poncho one day. But the thing is, crochet ones are actually easier.
Yeah, they go a little bit faster.
And one thing with the crochet is you don't have to sew any pieces together. Where with some of the ponchos with knitting, sometimes you have to sew stuff together. So, and I'm not a big fan. I mean, I will sew stuff together like if the pattern calls for it, but I'm really don't like having to sew stuff together.
Yep, I don't either.
Even though I make a lot of amigurumis where I have to sew stuff together, but I still really haven't gotten where I really, feel really confident with it, I guess would be the word.
I found a channel where she does all of her amigurumis all in one piece, the head, arms, and all. Her name is Rhonda Beverland.
Certain ones you can do it that way. Because I've had one pattern that I did where you added the nose as you were doing it, and like the arms too, you can crochet them on, and then even with the body, like the body pieces, you don't always have to sew the head on, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the sewing. I much prefer weaving in ends. And most people, and really I don't enjoy weaving in ends.
Me neither.
But it's a necessity, to do certain things, and I'm used to doing it. I may not be the neatest on the back, but I feel like if it's on the back of the work and it don't show, who really cares how neat it is?
As long as it don't come apart, is what I say.
What's that?
As long as it don't come apart after you do it.
Mm-hmm. But the bad thing is, like with shawls and stuff, though, it's not as easy always to eye what's the front and the back. But I usually like assign one side the front and one side the back. Where with knitting you really do have a front and back side. But then sometimes too, like if it's quarter stitch, it's not as obvious.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cora was wearing it. Shakora. Charity saying that looks like red heart ombre yarn. Yeah, it might be. All right, have a good day, Naomi. Okay. This one right here is Double Cable Poncho by Universal Yarn. I think this is beautiful, and I love the cables.
And I love the cables.
And I find with knitting, cables really make projects. I love patterns with cables. And then, of course, this has the pretty fringe. You see, there's the cables better. Because that's like one of my favorite things in knitting is cables. Chris is saying it looks fancy and warm. Okay. My mouse wasn't cooperating with me. All right. This is Come Winter by Drops Design. And one thing with Drops, I find they have some of the most gorgeous patterns. But I feel like the patterns are written different.
Yeah.
And it's harder to always know what they're wanting you to do. I mean, now I may be better at it than what I used to be. But I know whenever I previously would look at the patterns, I kind of would, I was confused on stuff. Now that I've been knitting longer, I don't know, maybe I could do one of their patterns now, but they really do. They have some gorgeous ones. And one of the other patterns I'm going to be sharing in a bit is a drop pattern, and it's one that I really love. And I'm hoping one day that I can figure out how to make it. Oh, hi, Lisa. How are you doing? And what are you working on? Okay. Anita dropped the link to my hat pattern for those interested. But it was Naomi that was asking, and I don't know, she may not still be here because she said she was leaving. Let's see. Yeah, Cheryl saying drop patterns are sometimes hard to follow. That's. I wish they weren't like that because they have beautiful patterns. Chris says I like the design work of the Come Winter, but not the tied sides. I guess it might make a nice maternity top. And everyone has different taste in what they like. Lisa saying another sweater crochet. Cool beans, Aroni. Yeah, that's kind of one of my expressions that I say a lot of times, like on Messenger. I'm like, cool beans, Aroni. All right, let me pull up the next pattern. This one's Shadow Poncho by Kathy Yerman. And this one's pretty. I'm going to share some of the other pictures because I find the lighter colors, the design don't pop as much. Well, even in the darker, it kind of is more, it's more kind of subtle. You see it, but it's not like boom. Not like, there it is. Okay, there you see it better.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Because I really wanted to show it where it focused in more on the design. So I'm glad they did have a picture like that. The thing is, Anita, see, I would have to cover the face really before showing it, which really, like being live, it's not easy to do that. It would be a little time consuming. Um, yeah, you're right. I like one thing when I do like anything with pictures and stuff, I don't like showing children. I have heard something where YouTube, I think it may go against YouTube's terms of service. I'm not exactly positive on that. Um, but with stuff that's going on in today's world, you know, I wouldn't want to do anything that could put someone else's child in jeopardy, because y'all know there's some people not right in the head out there. So that's why I don't like, usually if there is a child in a picture, I'll put like a smiley face over the face for that, but that's why I do that. Um so yeah, hmm what I could always do when I do the finished projects video, I could, edit the face and share it on there. I could do that if you want, Anita. All right, moving on with patterns. This is the Irish Knit Poncho by Adele Huey McCall. I love the texture.
Yep.
And y'all know I love me some texture. So pretty. Yeah. Because like crochet, I gravitate towards, textured stitches. Ooh, but from what I can see, that's beautiful, Anita. Ooh, and it has a lot of color to it. Ooh, nice. And Cora looks so cute. Pretty, pretty. All right. So next pattern. Oh, okay. You chop the head off. Well, you edited the head off, I guess. All right. Let's see. I'm fixing to pull it up. Look how beautiful, y'all. Isn't that pretty? And it has that, I don't know, I'm trying to, I guess kind of
Outdoor
like
look.
a cozy feel to it. I don't know if that's quite the right word I'm looking for, but it has like a certain feel to it. But very pretty. Okay, let me close that out. Or did it close out on its own? I think it closed out. Okay. We're gonna go a little over today. um because I have, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have, I think, 10 more patterns to share. All right. This one is called Blish by Nora Goen. Goen, I don't know. But very pretty. I love the cable in the front. Were you trying to say something, Julia?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Just trying to see better.
Yeah, that's where I'm going into the projects. There you can see the cable better.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And right here. Yeah, because like sometimes the pictures, that they have on patterns don't always like show it well enough. Um, Chris is saying kind of looks like a flag when it comes to the picture Anita shared. Yeah, I noticed the leg warmers, and it did look like they matched and that they were also crocheted. Cora looks so cute. Let's see. And Melody says that is cozy for sure, and I'm all about cozy. Yep. Okay. So next up is the Caravan Poncho by Alexandra Tavel. I think this one's gorgeous.
Oh my lord.
And then they have the tassels.
Need to get better at knitting so I can knit me some.
And really, projects like this really are not as hard as what they look. Because with knitting, the main two stitches you typically use is the knit and purl. Um, Now when you do lace work, you also have like knit two togethers, SSK, yarn overs. There's a couple of other stitches, you know, but usually the stitches aren't hard to learn. Um, and normally when I come to a stitch that I don't know how to do, I just look up a tutorial on YouTube. And even like with some of those stitches, you don't always do them like on a regular basis. And a lot of times I go and look up a tutorial to refresh myself. How do I do this? Um, because some of the stuff starts to get confusing. Like because you have like SK2P, which is basically where you slip a stitch, then you knit two together, then you pass that stitch that you slipped over the knit two together.
I don't know how to do that one. I can
Or
do
like,
the purl and knit stitch and knit two together.
but like I said, like once you know your basics, the other stitches typically will come pretty easy. And the hardest part about like lacy type work is losing your place, which is very, very easy to do, you know, because with with lace work, I do feel like you gotta have a lot of focus. Because like kind of like last night, I was working on my knit shawl, and I started finding that I would I would get off on my count, and I had to keep going back, and I got to the point I was like, I think it's time to put this down, because if I don't, I'm gonna do something to really mess up.
Yep.
But that's the main thing with lace work, because you'll see stuff like knit three, purl three, yarn over, knit two together, SSK, and you got to keep going back and forth with all these different stitches. And you can easily lose your place or miscount, and then it throws everything off. All right. Next pattern is Sriracha, maybe? Sriracha by Krista Hartman. And there's some pretty cables. I like that color.
Oh, that's pretty.
And I like this color too.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty, pretty. Anita says she hasn't heard a grandfather clock in years.
Oh, would
Yeah,
she hear mine?
I guess so, because I was wondering, like what made that come up, come up.
I've got about 20 of them that does that, so I'm sitting right beside one.
I
We
never
collect the old
noticed.
wind-up clocks that they ding every hour, how many hours it is. Like if it's 2, it dings 2. Then on the 30-minute mark, it dings once.
But yeah, I didn't even notice the clocks going off.
I don't know if you can see it or not. It's over here in the corner.
I can barely make it out, but really, I probably wouldn't have realized it was a grandfather clock if you hadn't mentioned it, because it kind of just faded like in the back more. Where
Yeah,
I knew,
I don't hear it going off anymore. I'm just so used to it. Now, if I try to go to sleep and I don't hear it, then I can't go to sleep.
yeah, it's funny how like certain noises you learn to tune out. Um, let's see. Chris is saying it looks like it would take ages. It's very pretty design in the front, and I think he's referring to that one that had the tassels on it. Um, I mean, that is something that would take a while, but it'd be worth it. All right, let's see. Yeah, Anita saying she was referring to your clocks. Okay.
And I have about 50 of them hanging on the wall.
All right. This one is the Indian River Poncho by ADHD Knitting. And this one, I find this interesting. It has more of a different look to it. I think a lot of it's because they put the tassels are hanging on the back right there.
Oh, is that what that is? I couldn't make out what it was.
And it looks like some of the tassels have a braid on them. But yeah, I found that one looked interesting. All right, next up. This one is called Sky by Marie Wallen. And I love
Oh,
the cables and the details. Very pretty. I love the look of that one.
and I'm gonna have to start knitting like I do crochet. Get better at it.
And with knitting, it just takes practice. All right, this one's pretty. Adria Phil Hat and Poncho Corman by Adria Phil Yarn. And I
Oh,
love how it has
yeah.
that cable like that. Because it's like it's basic, but that cable makes it pop.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if they had. There's no projects. I was curious what it would look like in other colors. Chris is saying, "Oh, pretty texture." Yeah, I like the hat on that one too. All right, next up. All right, this is the one that I really love. That I was saying that I would love to make this one, but it's a drops pattern, a drops design pattern, and drops design tends to make things confusing. This one's called Frozen Ivy, and look at this. Isn't that like the detail
I'm good.
gorgeous? I love, love, love this one. So pretty. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the written part and kind of demonstrate like how it's written weird. Um, because it's not it's not worded like a regular pattern. Because it tells you like to cast on, but you see how it's more like a paragraph than words. Um, then work as follows. So 1 over the first 82 stitches. I don't even know what they're meaning by that offhand. At the same time, decrease 3 stitches evenly over these stitches. Stockinette stitch over the next, so many stitches. It's just like
I wouldn't be able to follow that.
It's confusing because, well, that's another drops pattern. But like, I'm gonna pull up a different pattern real quick. Oh, that one's not gonna work. Of course, I don't get them pulled up easily like I want to. Let's see. Okay, that's not gonna. Of course, the patterns I still have on my screen aren't like the types that I want to demonstrate. Let's see. Bear with me a second.
Oh, you're fine.
Let's see. Will this work? Okay, yeah, this one should work. Or maybe not. Okay, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Of course, everything's going to be difficult when I'm looking for something. All right, now I'm just noticing one pattern that I shared. It looks like there's an error on the pattern, like the website. So one of the patterns don't look like it's viable. Okay, I'm going to try one more. If this don't work, then we'll just move on. Okay, but typically, like on a pattern, you'll see like row 1, right side, P2, K2, 2 times, P3, then you have in brackets K2, P2, 2 times. That's usually like how you see a pattern more.
Yeah.
Where you see the actual abbreviation for a stitch. But for some reason, drops like it's all weird. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl's back. Welcome back. Lisa saying nice details. Oh, Kelly's here. Hey, Kelly. How are you? And what are you working on? Yeah, it has been a while. I've missed you. It's good to see you too. Okay. So we have 3 more patterns. Let's see. All right. This one is called Aaron Waite Victorian Lace Poncho by Michelle. I'm not going to attempt it. This is a beautiful lace poncho.
Oh, man. I like that color.
There it is, spread out better. And that's what I love about lace work, the details. But the irony is, like when it comes to lace work, I don't think I could design anything like with that type of lace work. Like maybe a little lace work I could do, like real basic type stuff, but I wouldn't even know how to go about designing that type of lace work. All right. This pattern is Broken Cables Poncho by Lion Brand Yarn. And it has cables, and I don't know, that picture's kind of blurry. And of course no other pictures. Yeah, it's like I didn't notice, like the small picture don't look that blurry. But whenever I clicked on it to make it larger, it all blurry. um See, here's another drops design. This one's Lulu. And look at the pretty detail.
Oh, that's pretty.
But like I said, when it comes to drops, the way they word things, like a pattern like this, you see, I don't know if I could figure it out with how they word it. But I mean, if you worded it like the what I call the normal way, I'm sure I could make this. But like I said, they have gorgeous patterns that they so do. Kelly says I've worked on a hooded pocket scarf for my granddaughter. Ooh, nice. But yeah, Kelly, because like sometimes it's like all of a sudden like I don't see someone for a while, and I'm like I haven't noticed this person around in a while, and you kind of wonder, like where they went, what's happening. But I mean, I know everyone, they get caught up in normal day life and stuff like that. And there's so many Yarny channels too that people don't always have time to watch everybody. It's impossible.
Yeah, I'm behind on mine.
But yeah, because sometimes too, some people they'll watch certain channels for a while, then they kind of move on to some other channels for a while. You know, like I said, there's just so many, and pretty much every day there's new Yarny channels coming out. So it's like you got more and more and more and more and more options. But I do thank all of y'all that do watch me. I'm glad y'all decide to watch me.
Snoopy.
Hey, Snoopy.
Be quiet, boy.
Let's see. Kelly saying you can do one like the drops poncho. You just do it your way. Yeah.
Hang on just a second.
One of the things I feel like I don't like how they word their patterns. I really don't. Oh no, Kelly, I'm so sorry. I'll keep your mom in my prayers. But yeah. So that's the patterns, and all those links are in the description box of today's live. Do you have anything you want to mention, Julia, before we wrap up?
No, I think I'm good, but thank you for having me on your channel today.
And thank you for coming live with me. I enjoyed having you. And like I mentioned earlier, if y'all haven't checked out Julia's channel, go check her out. Her link is in the description box of today's live. And I'm trying to think, am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. I think I mentioned everything I wanted to mention. So anyway, I'm going to play my little closing video. And I do want to mention, I do still need to add Jessica's name to the video. I'm waiting to hear back from her because, for what I recall, she does have a channel, but her channel's her name, and like it won't pull it up for me. So I want to add her link on a lot of the stuff before I add it. Like how like in the description box of my videos, I put that information for my
Yeah.
channel members, and if they have channels, and or like Nightbot dropping the links. So um she will be added once I hear back from her. So she is one I want to thank along with that list. Okay, where's my video? Oops, I hit the wrong button. Okay, where's my video? Okay. I wanted to dance. But yeah, it's like, how when you look at you're looking for something and it's like right there in your face. I do that all the time when I'm looking for the video I want to, bring up. But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed talking to all of y'all, and I hope y'all all have a very, 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 did I say very? Very fabulous Yarny day. Be the light, and bye.
Bye.